Your new coworker never sleeps, never gets sick, and never asks for a raise. It can lift more than you, learn your job faster than you expect, and work every hour of every day. The company paid less for it than it costs to employ you for 1 year. And by Friday, it has your job. At first, that sounds like your problem. But when robots begin replacing millions of workers, something much stranger happens. Factories can produce more than ever at a fraction of today's labor cost, but the people who used to buy those things no longer have paychecks. So what happens when humans become the most expensive part of doing business? It doesn't happen overnight. The first humanoid robots are expensive, clumsy, and useful only for simple tasks. But every year the software improves, factories build more of them, and the price falls. Soon, businesses don't even need to purchase one. They pay a monthly subscription that includes the robot, its software, and its maintenance, all for less than the cost of employing a person. And unlike a person, the same machine can unload trucks in the morning, stock shelves in the afternoon, and clean the building overnight. Once that calculation works, replacing workers stops being an experiment. It becomes the easiest way to cut costs. At first, robots don't replace the jobs people love. They take the jobs people are relieved to escape. They enter burning buildings, clean toxic spills, work dangerous mines, and carry heavy boxes through warehouses all night. At your workplace, the new robot handles the tasks everyone hates. It unloads trucks, reaches the highest shelves, and volunteers for the overnight shift, mostly because it has no concept of volunteering. You're happy to let it do the exhausting work while you handle the parts that still require a person. Injuries fall. Deliveries arrive faster. Your job becomes easier. For the first time, automation feels less like a threat and more like the coworker everyone wishes they had. And that's why nobody complains when the company orders another one. But the second robot doesn't make your job easier. It makes your job unnecessary. You decide to find one career that can support you for the rest of your life without being automated. You try delivery driving, but robots already have the keys. You apply at a restaurant where one is learning the grill during orientation. You consider construction, but a machine can now lift the walls, install the windows, and politely inform you that your application was unsuccessful. You even consider carpentry, something you've always enjoyed. Then you watch a machine build an entire table before you've finished measuring the first leg. Every supposedly safe career already has a robot completing orientation. The replacements don't happen everywhere at once. They spread from one industry to the next, and every displaced worker rushes toward the jobs that remain. More people compete for fewer positions. Wages fall. Careers once considered secure develop waiting lists filled with experienced workers willing to accept almost anything. You finally ask which jobs are truly robot-proof, but the answer keeps changing because robots don't need to master every human skill. They only need to become cheaper at enough of them. While workers struggle, something remarkable happens. Almost everything becomes cheaper. Robots plant food, harvest it, package it, and deliver it. They assemble furniture in minutes, repair cars immediately, and keep factories operating every hour of every day. The cost of constructing a house falls sharply, although the land underneath it may remain as expensive as ever. Stores stay open continuously. Deliveries arrive within minutes. Products that once required days of human labor are produced almost instantly. For a moment, it looks like automation might solve the problem it created. If everything becomes cheap enough, maybe losing your job won't matter. Then you check your bank account. Cheap is not the same as free. And without a paycheck, even a $20 television can feel expensive. Your empty bank account isn't only your problem. Eventually, it becomes the company's problem too. Robots can manufacture far more products, but machines don't buy groceries, rent apartments, or upgrade their televisions. The customers were the workers. And every worker replaced by a robot is one fewer person earning money to spend. Businesses lower their prices, but sales continue falling. So they cut expenses by automating more jobs, which removes even more customers from the economy. The solution for each individual company makes the problem worse for everyone. Factories are overflowing with products. Stores have almost no shoppers. Humanity can produce more goods than the existing economy can distribute because access to those goods still depends on paychecks that are disappearing. You begin searching for the one group that is still making money. It isn't the people working beside the robots. It's the people who own them. You decide that if you can't compete with a robot, you'll buy one. The plan seems simple. Your robot will work, you'll collect the income, and for once, automation will benefit you. You manage to finance one used model. But owning a machine isn't the same as owning the system surrounding it. Large companies already control the delivery contracts, factory partnerships, software platforms, maintenance networks, and inexpensive energy that keep thousands of robots productive. Your single robot spends its first week downloading updates and searching for work. Their fleets already have contracts for the next 10 years. When your robot finally finds a job, much of its income disappears into loan payments, software fees, repairs, and electricity. Scale creates a powerful cycle. A fleet earns enough to purchase another fleet. More robots attract larger contracts. Larger contracts pay for even more robots. The people who already control automated businesses accumulate more of them, while everyone else pays those owners for food, housing, transportation, and nearly every service they need. Society is no longer divided mainly between people with good jobs and people with bad jobs. It's divided between people who own the workers and people who don't. But when machines can make almost anything faster, cheaper, and nearly perfect, perfection stops feeling special. A chair with identical measurements costs $5. Yet one designed and built by a human, with subtle variations and a signature underneath, might sell for thousands. Restaurants advertise meals prepared by real human chefs. Concert tickets promise the musicians aren't machines. Clothing labels proudly announce that every stitch was made by someone who needed breaks. Being made by a person becomes a luxury feature. You return to carpentry and begin building furniture by hand. For the first time, the small variations in your work aren't treated as defects. They're evidence that a real person designed and built it. Every piece has a story that cannot be downloaded through a software update. You finally find people willing to pay for your work. But authenticity is a luxury, not an economy. A few people can earn money through craftsmanship, performance, creativity, or personal attention. Billions of displaced workers cannot all survive by selling expensive furniture to robot owners. Human-made work may preserve meaning, culture, and connection. It cannot replace every paycheck automation removed. Eventually, society faces a choice. If machines perform most of the work, income can no longer depend entirely on having a job. The basic principle is simple. If automated production replaces people's paychecks, people need another way to receive a share of what automation produces. That share could take several forms. Automated companies might fund a monthly payment for every citizen. Automated production could also help provide essentials such as food, housing, healthcare, and transportation. Workers and communities could own shares of the robots replacing their jobs. Work doesn't disappear completely. Instead, the work week becomes shorter, and people continue in roles where human judgment, trust, creativity, or genuine connection still matters. Your handmade furniture becomes something you choose to create, not the only thing standing between you and an empty bank account. But every possible solution leads back to the same question. Who owns the machines, and who receives what they produce? Robots could create a world where basic survival requires less human labor than ever before. Or they could create one where a small group owns nearly everything, and everyone else must ask for access. The technology can build either future. It cannot decide which one humans choose. The robot that replaced you was never the real problem. It did exactly what humans designed it to do: produce more, cost less, and remove the need for human labor. The problem was building a world where people still needed jobs to survive after the jobs disappeared. Robots could give humanity something it has chased for thousands of years: freedom from exhausting work. But if only their owners receive the security that freedom requires, automation hasn't liberated everyone else. It has simply taken away their paycheck.